what I need is a way to make this chair stop squeaking. It's a great chair. I love the chair, but like every time, like, and then I try to like, I've tried to address the squeak. In your work, have you like figured out how to like eliminate squeaks?
I don't have much squeaking in mine. I have the Secret Labs one.
Yeah,
though.
I don't have the Secret. They got
It's like $900 or something like that.
Yeah,
but,
and this wasn't. This was like 100, but it was a Darth Vader chair. So like, of course, until this thing dies.
Yeah.
I was looking for a good Star Wars chair, hoping for a Darth Vader chair, but the problem is now it's just like, and I got rid of the old chair that I had for like eons because it was full of farts. I made a lot of farts in that chair. That's what I do. Hello everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another MakerDeck live stream. I am getting all these freaking notifications, which is wonderful to hear. Like, look at all this stuff that I'm getting. So thank you for tuning in. I am currently now I'm printing two things. One of the things I don't have pulled up on the screen because it's probably going to end at some point during the broadcast, but I'm printing another Stormtrooper model. And then I decided to bring up my X1 Carbon over here because I'm printing something that Mystery Goat on the Discord server tagged me on, say, hey, check it out. It's a Tron recognizer. And I mean, it is good. Like, this black, right? But then it's got like a red trim. And then the artist did a separate one of, hang on, I'll get because I tagged on a reply. I tagged Joel telling because we're both fans of Tron. I'm sure there are a lot of fans of Tron.
Yeah, no, it was. I really liked the new movie. It was.
I liked it too. I know a lot of people are against Jared Leto or whatever, but like, I guess I was fine. I didn't. Was it like the most amazing thing ever? No, but I thought it was a good form of entertainment. I love the popcorn bucket. The arcade. That's what I should have brought up. The arcade. They have like an arcade cabinet popcorn bucket, or did at Cinemark. No, Regal. Regal had that popcorn bucket, which was nice. But I watched it and I'm like, this is good. This is solid. I mean, I think I liked Tron Ares more than I liked Tron Legacy. But neither one came close to the original. And I rewatched the original with Gretchen, like after we watched the third one. It's like, okay, you gotta watch the first one. And I mean, it was wonderful. Like the first one was just so, it was just everything. Everything.
I have it on Blu-ray. I got the exclusive, so it came out with the original and then it had Legacy on there. I got it on Blu-ray and a special collectible set when it first came out, so.
Yeah, I was thrilled when they finally made a Tron minifigure, but it ended up being, I think, Rinsler, which was Tron, and spoiler alert, and Quora. And I'm like, but I want like I want Flynn and Sark and Rom and Clue, like the original Clue. And they never produced them. And so it's really disappointing that they've made this new film only to find out that it didn't do well, and it could have been because Jared was right up front, and a lot of fans were like, nope, we're not interested. Right out of the gate, didn't even give it a chance. That sucked. But anyway, so I'm printing a vintage recognizer. One of the first things that I ever printed, actually. I've got a smaller recognizer over my arcade cabinet. Oh, speaking of Matt, do you know anybody? This is something I got to throw out to the makers. I've been trying to get my CRT repaired on my arcade cabinet, and I can't. I'm not electronically inclined. I don't want to, because it could involve a capacitor. I don't want to electrocute myself, and I'm looking for a way to get the CRT repaired, and I can't find anybody. And everybody I reached out to couldn't get it done.
Yeah, I don't know. Does Travis have some? Is it? There's a guy around here who I think works on them.
Well, scope it out because I need because a capacitor is blown, so the color's not right, and I don't want to get rid of the arcade cabinet. It's running on an old Windows XP pre-Surface Pack 2 PC. That's how old that arcade cabinet is. It's old. And so even if I could upgrade it to a newer version of whether it's Linux, Windows, whatever, I do it. But I don't know how to manage the upgrade and the wiring and the swap outs and stuff. But I've been wanting to kind of redo that cabinet for quite some time, and just haven't found the right person to be
There's
able
a guy. There's a guy that I follow on. I think he's on Instagram, and he does some videos of them. I think it was Trevor or I don't know. I'll have to look through.
Yeah, look it up. I'd be curious
Yeah.
because I've been wanting to get that repaired for quite some time. So I've got a recognizer, just a small one of the first ones that I printed, right? Super small, because I didn't print very big things. In fact, I'm still not printing very big things. But this recognizer is going to be like, it's taking up not exactly the full bed size on the X1 Carbon, but it's going to be substantially larger than the one that I have now. And I'm going to lay it right there on the screen because I'm like, well, the screen's currently not being used, and I might as well, have something there that's kind of more or closer, because we're not getting the toys.
Yeah.
Or at least this size recognizer anytime soon. And it'll, I guess, satisfy my itch, scratch my itch. This thing. So, all right, so let's go ahead and dive in to what we've made this week. Let me go ahead and show my array of stuff. And if I can, hopefully, am I going to click the right one? Hope I clicked the right one. I clicked the right one. There we go. I was trying to get like everybody and everything up there. Let me go ahead and take away the QR code, which does work to make our deck. This is a Grogu pumpkin jack-o'-lantern. Can't really tell if this was AI. Had some issue. Must have been with the supports. The teeth kind of got messed up down here, but I'm like, it's fine. It's not going to bother me. I feel it's ample. Yeah. It works. I may, I don't know if I've got another color filament I'd like to throw at it. But like I said, it's kind of like, do I try this again and see if see if it screws up in the same spot without supports or a broken support, or am I, going to be just as happy with this one? And I haven't made up my mind on that front. But I may end up doing it if I can dig up a filament that I think I would like for this particular model. I'm always printing. I love the trend where models are made of stormtroopers in these cool poses in like street clothes.
Yeah. I got one. So, I got one of Darth Vader. Yeah.
I've printed 30 different ones of stormtroopers. I've got a couple of the Darth Vaders. But I love them. I love these. So I've printed them all, and I typically do them about 106 millimeters. And that they're lined up in my bathroom, like so this one's gonna be right there. And I think that's neat. I mean, I just love this.
Yeah,
awesome. I've saved them all too, just in case I want to print more of them. I had that since I had the film, and I'll come back to that. But in that same filament is a Polymaker filament, silver PLA Pro. I want to say it's an ornament.
It is an ornament because it's got a cap on. It could be a keychain too.
Keychain, right? But it came smaller, and I'm like, I don't know. For this to be a keychain, I think it would have to be even bigger than it is.
Yeah.
So I think it would work better as an ornament. But it turned out really well. Really quick print, really quick make on that. What the heck? Suddenly my phone exploded. There's a new episode of The Morning Show. This was definitely AI in a printed solid filament that I hadn't used in quite some time. It's a very like bright yellow filament, but someone did a Mickey Mouse Jedi. They did a Donald Duck one too, but it wasn't as good. Sometimes with AI, it gets a little imprecise, and I feel that the Mickey Mouse one fared better, so that one happened.
Yeah.
So that one turned out well. A nice new Alf model was released, and instead of doing brown like I've done before, I decided to do a holographic or a hologram Alf. Like he's beaming from outer space. Is that a nice one?
That is nice.
That's a new one this week.
Was that on Maker World?
Maker World, yeah. I think you can search for. I don't know. Thanks? Maybe it was
find
on Thanks. Maybe that's how I found it. Hang on, let me search for Alf generically here. Let's see what it pulls up. Alf Gordon Shumway. No, printables. That's where I found it. Printables. So here's the link to that. Gordon Shumway. There we go. And I had the gold loaded for something. Okay, I must have had the gold loaded for these. These are Andor for credits from Andor that Luthen Rail had. He had both the silver credits, and then the gold credits had this like silver attachment that's just glued on separate. Wouldn't make sense to do that as an AMS, plus it came as 2 pieces. So I had this gold out. It's an old Filament 1 gold, and then I printed out I love printing out Star Wars credits. Love. I printed out so many in different colors, but while I had them loaded, I had recently found some decent, not great, not perfect, and I say perfect because it's just like really truly one side, but Andor credits. There's like a hex, hexagon, a pentagon, and a septagon. And the septagon, I think, is was to be in gold. The hexagon was to be silver with gold trim, and then I think it's silver for the pentagon. And I'm like, I printed these out by accident when I was like, oh, I had the wrong plate. But I mean, they're nice. And the reason why I'd like to keep my eye out for a different one is because in Andor, I do believe there's another symbol on the other side versus this model, which is blank on the other side. But I'll still keep them. Like, this is fine. They're Andor credits. I used to print these types of Imperial credits all the time. And maybe I'll come back to them at some point. But, now I've got some gold Andor credits. One of the first prints that I gave Gretchen actually was gold, a Latinum, gold-plated Latinum from Star Trek. If you remember Star Trek, and Quark, the gold-plated Latinum.
Quark.
I printed out, some gold-plated Latinum. And she's like, what is this? It's gold-plated Latinum from Quark's bar. I knew more than she did. I'm more of a Trekkie, I guess.
Yeah. I've actually been watching Deep Space Nine.
Oh, DS9 is my jam.
Yeah.
It's so rewatchable.
Yeah.
Did this pumpkin in black.
Oh, nice. That turned out really good.
Well, I've printed so many, like for pumpkins, I printed so many oranges, and I don't have that many extra oranges on hand right now. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just print a Shadow Trooper pumpkin.
It looks good in the black.
I think so too. So it's a Shadow Trooper pumpkin. Yeah. Worked really well. And then, again, speaking of pumpkins, I'd printed so many in orange. This is a Darth Vader. Those are pink eyes and the breather of the mask with like a sparkly top. But this is a translucent filament here. Yeah. Kind of a pinkish hue because it's different, right? I'm like, okay, it's not, and I may end up reprinting this again. So there's certain ones I'm like, I've printed a few with this filament. I printed a few in this filament. I'm just kind of like looking for like what would be a unique filament to try these in that I hadn't necessarily done before. Hey Shane, it's good to see you. Welcome in. We're just geeking out, as you can imagine, on this Maker Deck evening. So these two may end up getting reprinted at some point. I'm printing things all the time, literally all the time on Maker Deck. But there are times that I'll do it and I'm like, I think I want it in a different color. But there's nothing wrong with this one. Just as there's nothing wrong with this one. And what I may end up doing with the Grogu is reprinting it in a different filament and then just giving this one to Jedi to take to her mom. This is one that was I kind of give up on a lot of Lego Star Wars models or a lot of Lego models because they're really fiddly with the bits and the parts. But I just printed it out at its scale. So this is 100% scale at the model. I just tried to do, I gave up an R2-D2 one, but inserting these pieces at an angle is too much of a pain. It doesn't work. And I'm like, I'm not gonna waste the filament anymore. But the BD1, I felt was small enough, accessible enough. It went in well enough. The problem I had with this one was probably due to the filament that I used. The red snapped in a couple spots. There were those are really tiny parts. Like some of these pieces, they look like they're solid, but they're really small in terms of how they attach.
Yeah.
I ended up snapping a few, but it came out really well. So
Are they is it a sparkly on those pieces that you put in?
No.
Oh,
there's no
it looks a
sparkle.
little sparkly from here. So
Machine.
Yeah.
You just get a reflection.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one I was happy with it, but it's not like I'm going to print 5,000 BD ones in a variety of colors. So this will go down on the shelf where the successful Lego prints that I've done have gone there. Not that, I mean, I kind of gave up after the kit killing kind of got out of it. But these, I feel, or this one turned out well, and it stands well enough on its own, right?
Yeah.
And I hadn't done one, a BD one, and it's funny because a lot of the other Lego figures that I have, they're more to like, they're a taller scale, right? This in BD one is smaller, so it's going to be a large Lego minifigure to a micro figure, basically. And so the micro scale, if you will, for the minifigure, because that's like the shape of a stud.
Yeah.
So that's basically effectively the size that it needs to be to stand amongst the other droids that are specifically there. So this is probably one of the first Lego Star Wars characters that I've printed in months. I haven't done. I think the last one I did was a Biff. I did one that was a Biff, a Figurin Dan, and then because it was from someone that I knew, and so I figured it would work better, and it did. It worked out well enough. I had some issues with some small things, but like these makes where they make them where they fit into at an angle, there's just so fiddly unless you use the right filament. That I just basically I kind of gave up. So
yeah.
Let's go ahead and flip Matt up here on the scene.
So I'll just say I had that clog earlier, so I've been out of commission, but I ended up replacing. I said last week I ordered a few of them, so I ended up replacing it. It seems to be working well so far, but I don't know what it was. Like I took the whole thing apart, I replaced this, and then it still wasn't working. And then I ended up taking the whole head apart, and I could not figure it out. I put it all back together. I took all the filament from the combo, and it just magically worked. So I don't know what I did.
So I think you had old filament that dried in there.
Could be, yeah.
Or dried, like got burnt, right?
Yeah.
And it was causing problems.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah. So anyways, I printed this a while ago. I haven't showed it, but I forgot about this. I printed this. It's a Stormtrooper. I'm using it as a coaster because I have the giant Darth Vader cup. Have you ever seen it?
I don't know if I've seen yours. I mean, I've printed a couple.
Well, no, this is one that you buy. I bought it, but it's like I don't have a coaster the size of this. And it actually makes noise if you. I think the batteries might be.
Wait, hang on. It's stored. Nice.
Yeah.
Is that a Hallmark?
It's I think you got it at Hallmark. Oh yeah, it is Hallmark. It says Hallmark on the bottom. I got it for Christmas from my mother-in-law and father-in-law.
Come on, am I good, Matt? Am I good? Yeah. Am I good or what?
But I didn't have a coaster for it, the size of it. Like I didn't have a coaster that would fit on it, and I didn't want to put it on my desk. And so I actually drink out of it. It's kind of big, but like. I put stuff in it. But I didn't have a coaster for it, so I printed this. It was a 2-piece coaster. So I printed basically this, and then I printed the insert for it.
Why don't you glue them together?
Just put it in.
Well, I mean,
what's that? I could, I don't know. It's just been sitting on my desk, so I never glued it. But you could glue it together. It turned out really well, and I just blew it up. It was much smaller, but I just made it much bigger. And it perfectly fits the cup, so works for good for that. But I hadn't showed it.
I've got a few things on the Hallmark wish list, but I'm going to wait for Black Friday to get them, right? Hallmark could get on price drops, and then maybe after Christmas, the stuff goes on sale. There has not been a lot of Star Wars stuff out there. I've been hitting Ross's on a regular clip, and if some days are better than others, but it just depends. I didn't get to one today, so I have a feeling I missed out on things that they dropped this morning, but that's how it goes.
I haven't been to a Ross in a while, but I did get the X-Wing fighter from the Lamp
The lamp?
I sent it to you, I think, but I did get it. I also
What was it,
have
like,
the
$40?
Millennium Falcon one too, but it was
Yeah.
up at Marshall's.
Yeah. But
Marshall's,
it was $40.
some good. Yeah. It was like
$40?
$30, I think.
I can't
It was
remember.
$29.
When I saw it, I'm like, do I want to? I'm like, I don't know. Like
I
I
know.
see it, I'm like, and I love Star Wars, but it's like I even saw for $20 like a Darth Vader lightsaber lamp, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but is it $20 cool? I don't, you know, you know me. I'm like, like, dude, I'm all about Star Wars, but I'm like, I have passed up more, and these prices are increasing dramatically. Like, there's never been a better time to be a 3D printer because you don't have to, like, I don't have to go and wait, and get, a Stormtrooper figure. I can print my own.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
So I printed this for my wall in my bathroom. I'm gonna put it up there, but yeah, it's just
Sith happens.
yeah. So I did that. I did this today. I think you've done this before, but I did this. I'm gonna put it in the bathroom as well. It's like a little rubber ducky.
See, I printed yellow duckies that I found, and those I put in the bathroom.
Yeah. So so I printed that. I'm gonna make a little Darth Vader shelf in there, I think. So.
Oh, smart. Yeah.
I printed this for my wife. I'm not sure if I showed this off.
Oh yeah, you showed a different one.
I showed a different one, but I also printed this one for her this week. So she's a big fan of Ghostface. So
did you see that model? I tagged you on that model.
Yeah, I did.
Thanks.
I got it on my list.
Thanks.
So so I printed that to add to her collection. And then I have some non-Star Wars stuff. So we went to the Maker Deck meetup yesterday, and Kamani had the name tag.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that far, but I did think about redesigning the name tag, because here's what the name tag looks like now. It looks, I don't know. So
they work.
It does. So, but I created a new one with my handle on it. So it says Matt Evans Tech on it underneath, at Matt Evans Tech. So,
but is it the same magnet as before?
It is, but I'm gonna see if I haven't put a magnet on the back of it yet at all.
Okay.
So I am gonna see if I can get that magnet though, and then maybe do like a QR code or something on the back of it as well. So that way you can just take it off, because I think a QR code would work just fine too.
Yeah.
People then could scan it. It could go to your whatever,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play around with it some more. I haven't given up on putting a NFC tag in it, so I may still try and do that. But I think in the meantime, putting a QR code on the back would.
See what Tim said? I'm gonna need that new design.
Yeah.
You missed it, Tim.
Yeah.
Man, last night it was interesting. The place was packed because of the Mariners game.
Not because of our meetup.
Yeah, everyone was there for the meetup. It just so happened to be a big game.
I don't even think the drawing people were there. I didn't see them, so I don't know if they didn't.
They were. Gretchen said, said she saw them at another table.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if they were there, but one of the managers came up when I got there. First thing when I got there, and she goes, "Oh, I didn't know if you guys were going to show up tonight."
Why wouldn't we? I mean,
because of the Mariners game. So, but yeah, I was like, yeah, we're here representing. So, anyway, so I printed that yesterday. Let's see. And so now I printed a few things. So I got the Ridge sent me out their wallet and keychain. So I don't know what you use for a wallet, but I try to go minimal style wallet.
I need cash, dude. I can't. There's no way.
What's that?
Traditional.
You got the traditional, yeah. So I like thin minimal style wallet. So Ridge sent me out that and their little keychain thing. But I needed something to put it in, like at the nightstand. So I printed out this. It didn't turn out the way I like it because I can't get the keys in there. So I think I need to take out I think I need to take it out and make it bigger for the key size. But it does fit the wallet pretty good. So I was thinking about putting a little bit of fabric in there, and just gluing it down, cutting it to fabric, and then putting a little fabric in there.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then just put it next to my nightstand. I also printed this one. I didn't know if this one would be good at first, but I did. It's in a matte PLA, I think. But it kind of
like a doggy bed, a cushion.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a, you're right. It does look like a doggy bed.
But I'm saying it's a doggy bed.
But
What
it's
is
like a catch-all. They call it a catch-all. I think I
Okay,
found it
right.
on Maker
There's
World, but
stuff
it's a
in there. Yeah.
catch-all,
Caddy.
thing. Just put it in there. But I tried this first, but this is way too small. Won't fit them
Yeah.
both. And so I am going to get an A1 at some point. So I may scale this up and maybe try something bigger for it at some point. But I did print that. And then lastly, I printed this. It's going to go in my bathroom. It's for my toothbrush holder. So just so I can try and keep things organized a little better. But I always put my toothbrush, and it always is just, sitting in a drawer or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just put this on there. I have electric toothbrush. Slides right in there.
I just put mine on the charger. Like,
Yeah. I just don't like the cords hanging around everywhere.
yeah,
So
I'm the same way. I'm not a huge
I was
fan.
like, I charge it up when I need to, and then yeah. So anyways, so that's what I printed this
Wait,
week.
I see
outside.
cords underneath there, under your desk there, by the
Over here.
yeah.
Yeah. I haven't worked on that cord management yet. So
What?
I know.
How dare you?
I know. I need to get working on that. So I can't stand cords for sure.
I'm not a fan either.
Cord management is really hard though. Like,
Yeah, no, it is.
I mean, it is not an easy job. Like, I will literally take a sweat out of trying to get cord management all nice and clean.
So yeah, speaking of cords and cables and computers and plugged in, the Mac Mini replacement did come in today officially. It did. I got the.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yeah, it did come in.
And it was a Mac Mini and not a Gillette
It
razor.
was Mac Mini. Yeah. But Amazon still owes me the $500, so I'm waiting for that to clear too before anything.
Yeah.
And hopefully, it will. But yeah, that came in. I'm grateful for that because that was what happened. You're gonna love this, y'all. And I have no intention, on ever, not being an Amazon customer. But basically, I ordered a Mac Mini, and I thought it was a decent price. And then it dropped further after I ordered. I'm like, dang it! And they don't do the price thing. So I returned the first one, got the new one, and they asked, well, why? So I found a different price because you can leave a reason. Where did you find it? I found it on. I gave them the link. I'm like, your link, right? Freaking here. And so I was expecting a Mac Mini. Next day comes and goes. Nothing happens. So then I was like, okay, so it's going to be delivered the next day is what the app says. Okay, no big deal. It's not, a huge issue. This is on Friday. I wake up 6 a.m. for whatever reason. I'm up. I'm like, okay, let me check my phone. Sometimes I check, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Amazon, your Mac Mini was delivered. I'm like, what? And I'm like, because sometimes you get these notifications saying it was delivered when it wasn't, and then it was like, then they track. There's a certain thing that like, oh, I see, it will be delivered, but it says it was delivered even if it wasn't. If it wasn't. But what struck me as odd. Oh, my stormtrooper's done. This stormtrooper that I have. This is a very busty stormtrooper. This is a very feminine stormtrooper, let's say. So anyway, I look and I'm like, wait a minute. Why was it delivered 6 a.m? Because I have a business address. I don't deliver anything to the house. Nothing. Like, very rarely, unless it's like huge. Like, I don't deliver anything to the house because of force pirates, right? And it happens, especially like this time of year, it starts to increase. So effectively, I look at, I'm like, oh my God, they dropped it off. But I'm like, what door is that? They dropped it off at the business address, the building, but the wrong address in the building. So not only was it delivered at the wrong address, but it was delivered outside of posted business hours. So I'm like, 2 strikes. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what the heck? So I drive down there. I'm thinking, oh my God, someone's going to get it. Someone's going to pick it up, right? Because it can happen, right? I get there and there's a flat envelope, like right there at the door. And I'm like, this alternate address. I'm like, is that addressed to somebody else? That doesn't look, you can't fit a Mac Mini in a flat envelope. And so I pick it up. I'm like, it's addressed to me. I'm like, dude, this is all levels of screw ups. Just, if we're keeping score, that's 3 screw ups. Well, sorry, 4 screw ups. First screw up was overnight delivery. That was promised. That got skipped.
Yeah.
Second thing was, even though I gave them specifically, because I had to, I started to, saying, these are the business hours. These are the delivery hours. They ignored that. It got delivered at 6 a.m, not 9 o'clock or whenever the business opened. The third problem, they delivered it to the wrong address. The fourth problem was it wasn't even the product. So I ordered a $500 Mac Mini. And I get there, and I'm like, this is a super lightweight thing. What the hell is this thing? I get to the car, tear it open. It's like a Gillette, razor blade replacement. I'm thinking, this is not even close to a Mac Mini. So I'm sure there's some bozo out there who ordered a freaking a razor
and got a Mac Mini.
I got a Mac Mini. What the? What's going on? So I don't know who that person is, but they got to be the luckiest person in the world. But I'm just like freaking out. I'm like, dude, because I got charged, $500 for this. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So get on with customer support. Kind of on with them, going on. Like, dude, you screwed up like multiple levels. Like, this needs to be reported a fraud. Like, this is a problem. It's not just a hiccup. I can understand being inconvenienced, not a big deal. I got out of bed, drove down the hill, 6 a.m, 7 a.m, whatever it was, when I got up to make sure that it didn't get stolen. And so yeah, that was baffling. And so I got on with customer service. He said, we could do a replacement. But yeah, but I could have done a replacement on my own. That's easy. I'm trying to report the fact that you guys screwed up at multiple levels. That's what I'm trying to report. This is not just one catastrophe. This is 3 catastrophes stacked over one inconvenience.
Yeah.
It's a catastrophe when you deliver outside of business hours. Packages can be stolen. It's a catastrophe when you deliver to the wrong address, because again, packages can be stolen. It's a catastrophe when you get the wrong freaking product, because especially if you're overpaid for something that you're getting. So in the sense of the product that was there instead in lieu of the original product. So I allegedly they have sent the replacement. It arrived today. A viable replacement, a true Mac Mini, the one that I really wanted. And allegedly, they will be refunding that balance as well because of the quote-unquote inconvenience and the problems that we ran into. That has yet to clear. So I don't yet know if it will. I'm hoping. I mean, I believe so. So I've got to kind of wait 2 to 3 business days. So come Thursday, I'll have to if nothing clears, I'm like, hey, just so you know, this is what customer service, promised. Haven't seen anything. I don't know how it's going to play out, but either way, yeah, that was my Amazon adventure. That was I can't believe that. You one screw up, okay, dude, it happens. I get it. But
it's bad over here. Ours comes from Maple Valley, but when I was living in Kirkland, everything came from Renton or Everett. And so same day came mostly from Everett, and then our regular deliveries came from Renton, and then they would swap them sometimes. But everything comes from Maple Valley out here mostly, or some of the same day stuff comes from Renton. But it's literally sometimes it's hit or miss. They say they're going to deliver something same day, and I don't get it. I've reported it multiple times, and they don't care. They just don't. So I'm not the kind of person when it arrived late, I'm like, okay, I'm like, do I need it tonight? It would have been nice, right? Even the PoE Plus injectors that I got specifically for the access points, I upgraded. These things are beefy. The injectors I got, hefty. I'm like, oh my god, they're like power supplies basically. I think they're PoE pluses. So I'm a 10 gig. So I'm future proofed. So when I upgrade the access points, I won't have to worry about the PoE. They arrived, but they arrived late, a few days late. And now I thought the switches that I ordered, not Nintendo switches, but 10 gigabit switches that I ordered, they said, oh, they would arrive on the 26th. But then today they said, oh, they'll arrive today, but they did not arrive today. And so I worry when they say, oh, it'll arrive today, and then it doesn't arrive that day now, because am I going to get a driver that is going to ignore the hours that I specifically, they do this, and I know they do this, because they say, we've had problems delivering to this address. Do you want to confirm the hours? I have in there specifically those business hours, and I had to do this eons ago.
because they don't look, they don't read, but it's not because I didn't set them. But I worry that it'll go to a, hang on. Is this my local print? Okay, yeah, that's my Pixie print that I just did, my Pixie print. Because I want to make sure that wasn't an error of the nozzle clogging. Another problem on the printer that you see down there. So, yeah, my concern is that they're going to do, or they're going to deliver the package outside of business hours and potentially to the wrong address. And, you know, for something small, not a big deal. Like that's a windfall. So, Matt, I'm telling you, someone got the Mac Mini.
I believe it. I'm sure of it. They ordered razors and got the Mac Mini, which, I mean...
My God, I would be like, dude, what? Okay, this is an amazing Gillette.
I've gotten stuff that I haven't ordered, and what I've reported it to Amazon being a good person. I've done that, and they tell me to keep it or donate it. Like, right. And I'm like, if I got that and I reported it, and they said, "Oh, just keep it,"
because it's volume, right? Yeah. But I don't feel in good conscience. Like I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I would feel bad about it the whole time. I use it, dude. Like I'm like, if I was that person, I'd be like, "This is amazing, thank you," but I didn't buy this. I bought a Gillette, whatever the hell. So, yeah, I don't know how that's gonna play out.
Tim said he also canceled his Prime membership too. I know he just said that one too. But
I'm not gonna do that. I'm
not going to either. It's too much for me. So
yeah, I just can't, I could not do that. I couldn't. And I know, you know, the way that, you know, things are and the way things are going, but I can't beat it. And I don't mind. It doesn't hurt me. I'm like, you know, I make it up in volume. I order it on Amazon all the freaking time.
Yeah, we have subscribe and save. It just came today, but we do monthly subscribe and save on certain items. And like literally, like, I mean, I have 4 or 5 boxes that came, and the first subscribe and save came on Saturday, and then the second one came today. So
I don't have many subscribe and saves. I find that like I don't get through things fast enough, or like it's just not that much worth of a bargain. Oh, by the way, there's the robusty.
Oh yeah. Do you want to make your screen bigger? Or?
No, I don't. This is good. I think you can see enough. It's a very feminine. It's a woman stormtrooper. I'm like, I have other ones printed in different costumes.
Gotcha.
And speaking of stormtrooper and costumes and uniforms and whatnot, I sold my. I don't know if you knew this. I had a stormtrooper costume.
Oh yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
501st, like a uniform, whatever you want to call it. I think uniform would probably be the most appropriate term. And I'd been in my garage for quite some time. I did not make it. I bought it. And someone, you know, who builds these things years ago, you know, was selling the basically customized, you know, to your height and all that stuff. And I got it years ago. I think I want to say I spent $800 on it. It was under $1,000. And I thought, this is cool. This would be so cool to do videos in a stormtrooper uniform. And I did plenty of it, you know, plenty of them. I feel I got it out. And then, you know, over time, it's just I wear it maybe once a year, maybe. And then it just sit there and I'm like, you know, it's just, it could be worth something to somebody. So I'm like, I threw it on to a Facebook Marketplace for like $600. And I'll come back to Tim's other ChatGPT here in a second, but figured, okay, I'll just put it on for like $600. And I had a few people say, "Oh, I'll give you $500. I'll give you $450. I'll give you the," and I'm like, they just didn't seem to be, you know, that serious, or like it was like, nah, I don't know, dude. And then over the past few days, someone had reached out to me and said, "Hey, you know, I'm curious, you know, is this thing?" Yeah, I said, can I come and see it? So he actually made the effort, like, can I come and see it? I'm like, okay, that makes sense. He wants to see it. He wants to make sure it fits. He wants the story and all that. So he came up here. We met in a public place, and looked at it. I said, you know, it's obviously battle tested, battle worn, you know, not perfect. But he's like me. He's a DI buyer. He's not a DIYer. He's a DI buyer. And he says, perfect. You know, it just works. You know, it fits and Velcro. I said, well, here's the thing that you may want to think. You know, you may want to get a Dremel to kind of smooth out this edge because it'll chafe. You may want to smooth out this edge because I had problems there. I just never got around to doing it. You may want to look into this. You may want to look into that. And I said, I'm happy to make references if you need them. But he was a lot like me. He was a DI buyer. He's like, he looked up how to do this kind of thing online. He was just like, his eyes crossed. I'm like, I was the same way. This is why I went with this, and it served me very, very well. I wore it maybe 30 times over the years, maybe. Lent it out to people who wanted it, or were going to use it for videos. So it was used, and I ended up. So I tried to sell it for $600, and he threw in there. He said, and so I thought that's what I was going to get. But he says, "Would you do $550?" He was wearing a military uniform. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do $550." But because he made the trek from Tacoma, so I'm like, okay, he made the trek. He's interested. He's ready to buy, and he's military. And I'm like, that's fine. Like, yeah, that's great. Not a problem. And I said, well, if anybody asks, yeah, I gave you the military discount. So he got a military discount. I was like, it's great. It's not a problem. I would have loved to have gotten 600, but honestly, I want to say a product that I got for $800 to resell it for $550 after, God, 15 years. I feel I did a pretty good job, with all that, all things considered. I was very happy with that. Very happy. So I sold my Stormtrooper. So the next thing I wanted, if and when, I'm not there now, but I want to do, and I'm not there yet, but I want to build or make or customize or commission an AT-AT driver. I want to do here. Now I will go full, Matt, because it's the AT-AT driver. I'm sorry, you've been full, but like the AT-AT driver.
Oh yeah.
All right, I forgot to take you off of full, Matt. My bad. Yeah, I want the AT-AT driver. So I want this, and so that I feel like I'm not there right now, but the reason I want the AT-AT driver, number one, it's a Star Wars thing, something I could wear around. But it doesn't cut in. Like, I just wear a helmet and it's a helmet and a jumpsuit. That's big, and gloves and boots. That's it. Like, it's very, very basic. And it's like that's if I had like a Star Wars anything, that would be that's the thing that pulled me into Star Wars, like collecting, was the AT-AT driver. So I've been wanting Hasbro to release the Black Series AT-AT driver. They're gonna do it, dude. They've done every other damn helmet. They've got to do that one. They have to at some point. And I would be so excited. That will be the thing that drives me, if you will, to basically customize and get an AT-AT pilot or AT-AT driver uniform done. So much easier to do as a cosplay than a Stormtrooper, for sure.
Yeah.
I have to. So this is interesting. ChatGPT released a Chromium browser, and I say Chromium because that's basically what all browsers are based on anymore. It's interesting. I don't use ChatGPT by default. I'm a Gemini kind of guy, and I know Google just released an AI or an update to the AI Studio that allows for easier app creation within AI's ecosystem, or within Google's ecosystem, of course. Atlas. So this is interesting because my concern with a lot of Electron apps and third-party Chromium, if you will, browsers are specifically related to what Simon Willison had shared in first impressions of and Simon's kind of like, I would say, an alpha in terms of AI and the cutting edge of that stuff, and kind of being on that bleeding edge. First impressions of ChatGPT Atlas, as browser agents remain confusing with insurmountable security and privacy risks, including prompt injection attacks. So it's like, yeah, that's the problem. So it's not that it doesn't make sense. It does. I also expect Google to do tighter Gemini integration beyond what they're doing right now, which is workable. Like, I get to an article, I'm like, hey, can you just summarize this? It doesn't work fast enough. I wish it would. I wish it was more integrated. It'll get there. I have zero doubt. But the fact that it says insurmountable security and privacy risks, including prompt injection attacks, I'm like, yeah, I'm out. That's the thing that keeps me from using an AI browser, is specifically security reasons. As nice as it is, like, oh, this is really cool. Like, nah, dude. Like, this is still early days for that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to increase my surface. I don't know how you feel about that, Matt.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gone on the fence about it. I downloaded it. I looked at it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm there yet.
Security is the thing that holds me back.
I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons why I went off of Arc. I loved Arc.
Yeah.
But like when they stopped releasing security updates for it, or they said that they weren't sunsetting it, but they were gonna. But that basically means that they're gonna be very relaxed on everything, and I worried about security with it. So I went back to Chrome on that point, but I did use Arc quite a bit, and I was sad when they did that. So
I had Arc, or I used Arc for a while, and the reason I used a couple of reasons. The primary reason I would say I used Arc up until I'd upgraded to Tahoe, only to upgrade back to Sequoia. I use those words pointedly, and I know that we've kind of, I'm not going to say rolled back Liquid Glass, but we are Apple, and we've now given you a toggle to, minimize Liquid Glass. I'm like, wait a minute. So you're telling me, Apple, $1 trillion company, that this new ethos, this design language that you created that you think is amazing, you've already nerfed it maybe a month into its release?
I kind of called it. I was like, I was arguing with a few. Well, I wasn't arguing, but I was debating with a few people on Threads about it. I was like, they're gonna create a toggle to either turn it on or off, or they're gonna create a toggle to create the depth like what you want it to be. I said one of those two things is gonna happen within the first 6 months of it being released, because there's gonna be accessibility issues with it that haven't been. I mean, you did the video with your mom, and it's out there. I mean, people have issues with it, so you definitely have to take that into consideration, and they didn't take that into consideration when they did it. I did download the beta on my old phone, and I turned on the toggle, and it's just frosted. That's all it is. It's literally frosted
glass. Yeah. It's not Liquid Glass, and I feel like that's capitulation. That's basically saying,
we messed up, and here's what we're doing.
This is bad. That's what it's saying. What it's saying is that Alan Dye should not be in that position, just like Johnny Ive should not have been in that position. Yeah. Johnny Ive should never have touched software. Alan Dye should not have touched software. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. And my concern about Apple is their hubris is going to have them doubling down. Oh, we're going to do it. It's a Liquid Glass future. I'm like,
yeah,
okay. I'm like, I want to turn the nonsense off entirely. So that has me even with the toggle of going to frosted glass, still has me hesitating to move to Tahoe. Still, even with, I don't have the only Electron. I mean, I've got maybe one Electron app that's already been updated so that it's more Tahoe compatible, but I don't have a lot of Electron apps. Yeah. So it's not that I'm worrying about that kind of performance on macOS Tahoe. It's just, it's unpolished.
My personal computer is updated. My work computer is not, and I'm going to hold off till the last minute on that. I was talking to Tim though yesterday, and he said that I think he was considering, I don't know if he did or not, but he was considering downgrading or upgrading.
Upgrade to Sequoia from Tahoe.
Yeah.
I mean, and I say that with a straight face. The last time I, quote unquote, in fact, I think I stuck with Vista longer before upgrading back to XP than I did with Tahoe.
Yeah.
Upgrading from Tahoe back to a Sequoia. It's animations are choppy, even with no third-party apps working. I'm like, yo, dude, yo, no, nope. So I made that leap. It was, I would say, as seamless as it could have been. I kind of took it as an opportunity to kind of wipe things clean. So I had Arc installed on the old Mac, the same Mac, but the one that I upgraded. And the reason why is because it had dual pane, where I would launch like StreamYard on one side and the Twitch dashboard basically on the other. And I liked that for what I was doing streaming on the desktop. But it was not, it didn't work. It was not, I was like, Arc's not going to be updated anymore. There's no viable alternative. It's taking CPU cycles. I'm like, do I need this? No. And so I have not reinstalled Arc and don't plan on doing so anytime soon. But I would say, and even if you look at the subreddit for Mac OS, I mean, it is just replete with people saying they're upgrading to Sequoia. People have had problems with it. Sequoia is basically Apple's Vista.
They don't give you that option though on iPhone. Like you can't downgrade.
No, with the iPhone, you're Gooch, dude.
You know, and I wish they would do that because I mean I think a lot of people they just don't want to though because they don't want to admit that they're wrong.
They won't, and that's I think Apple's hardware sales is the only thing that's going to make them wake up. And for the longest time, that's kind of kept them afloat, and that's viable. Don't get me wrong, but like at the same time, when you have software, I mean, it just doesn't work well. It's not polished. It is a half-baked design, and they're backtracking. Now they're saying, "Here's a toggle." It sucks sucks that much when you have to institute an option to turn off the feature that you're touting. It has failed.
That was one of the biggest things was the redesign and the liquid glass design, and like there's not a lot of other features outside of that.
It's failed. Failed, and they basically is so much as said it. It's failed. So you can have liquid glass or you can have frosted glass. I'm like, so let me get this straight. Apple invented transparency? Sorry, translucency? I think translucency is the more appropriate term for frosted glass. And then adding insult to injury, the performance drain, the performance hit. So I would recommend, at my professional opinion, in being a software enthusiast, is even with no Electron apps that would be problematic installed, the performance hit that you take with Tahoe is just not worth the cost. So I'm holding my breath, not for Apple. I don't think they're going to change. I think their hubris is going to get in the way. I think you're going to see Liquid Glass Part 2, and like, oh, we're Liquid Glass, and oh, everyone loves Liquid. No, they don't. Look at the subreddit for macOS, and you can see that real quickly. What I'm holding out for now, really kind of keeping my fingers crossed. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that Google will release the new the Android desktop platform before Apple releases the M5 Pro Max, M5 Max. Because if Apple releases the M5 Max, I'm upgrading the M5 Max. I'm on an M1 Max. And even seeing the differences in what the M4 baseline M4 does with the Mac Mini that I got, that we were talking about, a few minutes ago, it's a bump. I'm like, oh, okay, this thing is definitely a little faster. I can see where things even on the web are a little more fluid. I was able to push my desktop refresh rate to I feel the proper refresh rate for the monitor, 144 hertz with the proper cable. So I'm like, okay, the M4 is great. So the M5, I'm totally in line for. And I know people say, wait for the M6. I'm like, yeah,
I mean, Yeah, it's
I'm
just
not-
gonna go on, but I don't.
It'll go on and on, but it's like a touchscreen Mac. I don't yet. I don't know.
I don't think it's
how
gonna
it's gonna
happen.
work yet. And so I'm, and then if Google releases, as they've said, basically an Android on the desktop option, I'm like, okay, I'm ready, because I carry an Android phone. Like that's my daily driver, right? I'm ready. I still have to have Mac at my beck and call, because there's certain software, that I can't use, like a desktop slicer, let's say, or a video editor or something. So I feel have, kind of like I had for a long time, and I still do, have PCs on hand, Windows PCs. I feel at that point where if Google can provide a viable alternative for me as an Android user, and if it's capable, I'm like, I would say 99%. I'm sitting here, the apps I have open right now, what I have open: Chrome Remote Desktop, Google Chrome, and I had the calendar loaded. Okay, it's no longer loaded. So Google is what I have loaded.
You said you have Chrome remote desktop?
Remote Desktop.
Oh.
Yeah, it's easy to use, easy to install, cross-platform. Have you not used it?
No.
Really?
No.
It's not perfect, but a video driver that Intel rolled out for their video card, disclosure, I worked for Intel, specifically for their video card division. They rolled out a driver update for their, at least the NUC, the NUC, I think Next Unit of Computing is what that is short for. And it made it such that the Google Chrome remote didn't work as well, if at all. And so I was relying on the Windows app on Mac OS, which was fine. But I had problems, just making it work the way I wanted to. I'm like, you know what? This is an old system. I'm kind of tired of managing it. What I need is maybe something different. And so I ended up making that leap and, doing the replacement. And that's ultimately the impetus for me moving from the PC to the Mac Mini that I was talking about. And I would say, for the most part, it's been seamless. I've been using AirPlay on the Macs between the two, the MacBook and the Mac Mini. The Mac Mini, of course, being permanent. And I don't need it to be much more than a Mac Mini. If I do an upgrade to the Mac Mini, it would likely be upgrading to something faster, because I can use, when I do video editing on the Mac, I can use compressor and share computing resources, on Final Cut Pro at least. And then upgrading to a gigabit Ethernet connection, which I didn't want to spend the extra money right now, because I didn't think I could recoup the cost if I upgraded to an M5. Let's say they release an M5 Mac Mini or an M6 Mac Mini. I don't know what the cadence is going to be on that front. But
well, the other thing too is what you could do is just plug in your Mac Mini. If you don't use it, if you use Apple's remote desktop down there, their app, you could just plug it into the hub and then use the Apple remote desktop.
I tried that. So I tried that, but the Apple remote desktop was more problematic than the Chrome remote desktop, believe it or not.
Okay.
More problematic. And I mean, like, it was a little, I couldn't tell you, things were happening where, like, wait a minute, this was working and now it's not working. Why is it not working again? I need something that's always going to be there. Believe it or not, I think Google did a better job than Apple did with remote desktop. Because I was going back and forth. I was like, which one's going to work better? Which one's going to be more fluid? Which one's going to, do the thing that I needed it to do? And I found that between the two, it was easier to use Chrome Remote Desktop, better to use Chrome Remote Desktop than it was to use the built-in screen sharing feature or the more enterprise-level remote desktop feature of macOS. So I tried. I gave it a shot. I did try. Just like I tried to do a live stream. What? Yes?
Well, next week we should have Holt on.
Oh yeah,
Which
yeah.
would be nice. So we'll have a new guest next week. Won't just be the two of us. So
Hope will be a very interesting conversation. A very good, because Holt's great for conversation.
yeah, and he got that print that he took last night, the jack-o'-lanterns. So yeah. So
speaking of Holt and Seattle area and meetups, we did get our second registration from the Maker Deck IRL.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you got that. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it came in last night or this morning.
It was probably maybe Tyler, because he said he was going to register. So,
nah, that name doesn't sound familiar for this. And then Ellen said, Ellen's still having problems with that alias, and she only has like one email address. I'm like, really?
Well, I'm going to move it this weekend, so I'm going to move it. Yeah. So.
What do you mean move it?
I'm going to move it to fast mail.
Okay.
So the alias will stay the same and everything. Nothing will change.
Yeah.
It'll just be, yeah.
It'll just be a thing. And for whatever, we are saved. Tim did tweet Tim Cook. Just like I sent an email.
Interesting. Tim actually emailed Tim Cook about something. I forget what it was about, but Tim actually replied to him, and I think Tim has the email framed on his wall because it was sent. I think if I remember correctly, it was sent at like 4 a.m. or something. When he says he gets up and reads emails. So if he really does that and he really replied, I mean, you should email him your list of concerns.
I had emailed. Hey, let's see. Hang on. Apple Promise. I did an email that was a Google Doc that allegedly went to Federighi from someone who worked at Apple. I don't know if I can find it, but I had a Google Doc but that basically said you're not fulfilling your promise of 60 frames per second on the iPhone. This is back in like the iPhone must have been pre-promotion. Let me see if I can find it now. I know I still have it, but allegedly, Federighi saw this. They didn't do this. This is public. Yeah, I saw it. Publicly viewable document. I was just so upset. This would have been. When was the last change here? Wow. How do you find the last change? Version history. Last change was 2016. Almost 10 years ago. They were having problems that far back. I filed a radar. There's my radar compiled by me. Like the promise is implicit. iOS devices have plenty of power to push 60 FPS. Like there's other people that there's some tweets, posts that were like, these are people saying the same damn problems, bugs. Apple didn't have a role that was fulfilled by like someone who worked at Google at the time for the Pixel. And then I ran into problems like these are like out of the factory install frame skips. Like this was driving me. iPhone 7 and 7 Plus days. That's how long I complained about Apple software quality control. 7.
Wow, look at this.
That made it to Federighi. Oh, I was like, dude, what's going on with the frame rate here? What happened? This is Bozo Town. So like Apple's taking their lumps on Tahoe, and I'm like, sorry, dude, you're $1 trillion company. You deserve it. I love the people defending them. I'm like, okay, what do you think? You're gonna get a free iPhone? Okay. Like, no.
Just fix it.
People say that to me all the time. Chris, you have a bad personality. Just fix it. Like that. Hang on just a second. Okay, so I think we're good for tonight.
Yeah.
I've got my Tron Recognizer that'll hopefully be ready by next week. And you have to remind me if I forget the Tron Recognizer.
Yeah, I will. I did I printed off because my other print was failing. I printed off the mini. So same version of the big one that I did.
Yeah.
But I printed the keychain version. I think I'm gonna make it into an ornament and up one of my trees.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of Star Wars duckies out there.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put it on my tree though. So because it is actually a stormtrooper tree. So
yeah. All right, I'm trying to think now. What's the next thing I'm gonna bring? Oh, I need to remember. Oh, I don't know if we have a lot of. We got. Viewers here. We could raid into somebody.
Yeah, I don't know who's going.
Maker Deck's going. We could raid into.
Oh yeah.
Astro Canuck we did last time. We can do declarations. It's been a while since we did him. We can raid into Alf.
Always say that. Zombie Hedgehog's going, but I think we rated him. But he's on a level hype 1 train right now, so
yeah, it's great. Declarations. Okay, hang on just a second, buddy. Did I spell this right? Oh, 1 minute. Did I spell it right? This channel is intended for mature audiences, just so you know. Declarations is mature audiences only, so you're going to get rated into not a huge amount, but you know what? Well, there you go.
There you go.
Fun. And we'll see you next week.